Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a somewhat foggy Wednesday down here at the cabins. I got cabin 2 behind me. So I left off last night with the joist being done and the kind of the flooring really kind of done. I need to go around this morning, or I should say today's project is going to be putting blocking in between those joists down there, and most likely getting the decking, the subfloor on today as well. I brought all my screws down and everything like that, so we should have some pretty good progress today. If all that goes well, you might even see some lumber going down for the front porch. The porch on this one goes across the entire span of it, the front of it, so it's a 4-foot deck, so it's a much bigger deck than on the other cabins. And yeah, we're going to use our lumber for that, and that should go good. So yeah, buckle in, guys. Exciting Wednesday. Here we go. Okay, like I mentioned, first thing on the chop list today is the blocking. So I've got, I believe, 3 rows of blocking I have to put in, and that's generally for a nailer that the subfloor will screw into. So the spacing between the 16-inch on-center joists should be 14.5. So I have found historically, you know, if I just cut a bunch of 14.5-inch blocking, it doesn't quite work out. You know, some are, you know, the spacing is off by 1/8 of an inch, but if you keep adding 1/8 of an inch every time, it ends up, you know, bowing your floor joists and stuff like that. So I try to do a little measuring, but again, the standard is pretty much 14.5 between those. Now that's the primaries here through the middle. This one here on the end is slightly less, simply because of how that first joist, well, actually part of the rim joist actually sits. So I have all those blocks that I had cut off, those 16-foot joists to make the joist length. I have those I'm going to use. I've also got 2 12-footers and 2 8-footers left. I believe when I did the math, that should be enough to go across. Well, I mean, simple math. A 12 and an 8 is 20 feet. The deck, or I should say the cabin, is 20 foot wide. So I know between these 4 boards right here, I can go across it twice. And then if I do a little more math, I can figure out that these blocks here, I have enough to go across at least once. So that would be 3 rows. So, I mean, Todd don't do math, but I think that one's pretty solid. All right, guys, let me set up. I got to set up my chop saw, and then we'll get the blocking. So first thing I'm going to do is snap a chalk line for where my blocking has got to go. Now, I've already pulled some diagonal dimensions on this and squared up this frame itself. Everything's fantastic. I had to knock it around a little bit, so I am slightly off as far as the squareness to the skids, but I'm perfectly fine with that. And the rim joist here in the back is, I mean, that is straight. So anyway, so I've got basically 3 rows of plywood that have got to go down. I've got a full sheet, and then a 2-foot sheet, a half a sheet. So I need to come in 24 inches, from there 48, and from there 48, because I have a 4-foot porch across the front of the entire face of this cabin. So that's what we're looking at. So I got to mark those down, and I'm going to snap a chalk line across all the joists. Give me a good point of alignment for my blocking. I just wanted to show you my progress here. I got this first set of blocking in. This is 2 feet from the back, so 2 feet right down the middle here. So I'm going to have a 2-foot section of subfloor here, 4 foot wide here, and then another 4 foot wide up there. So yeah, this blocking's in, looked great. All the sizing of them was really just about really close to perfect, maybe a 16th here or a 16th there, but all in all, it worked out well. So we're going to move on to this second group here coming across. And I forgot, I probably said this the last time working on cabin 3, but hopping in and out of these floor joists with a tool belt on and stuff, it's really a pain in the butt. So I'm not really filming me, you know, doing my acrobatics going up and down and over and around. It's just one of those things. So let me get this knocked out and we'll move on. Well, I just want to give you a little progress update here. I just got done putting on this second row of blocking there. Everything went just fine. Lined up really nicely. I think I cut just about every one of those 14.5, so it was not bad. Of course, except the end ones here. They are 13 3/4. You lose that 3/4 of an inch. But anyway, yeah, looking great. Looking great. So I got one more row of blocking that's got to go on. This portion up here will be the front porch. This will be covered with rough sawn lumber from up the hill. And then I'll basically, the back side of this will be my subfloor. All right, gotta eat. I'll be back. Well, guys, just got back from lunch a little bit ago. Just wanted to show you here. I quickly got this last set of blocking in here. Everything lined up and looks just great right now. So I'm going to run some more diagonals right now, and just to check my measurements. If everything is still square, I'm going to go ahead and lock the joists and everything, the joist frame, into place. It's at that point I'll put on some of the hurricane straps and things like that underneath. I'd rather do that now while I still really have access to the bottom, especially up here at the short end. There's not really a whole lot of room for me to crawl around down there, let alone do any hammering. I found that was a much easier thing to do on cabin 1 when I kind of went back and redid it after everything was done. So yeah, so I'm going to try and take care of a lot of that now. So let me run some diagonals and then we'll lock things down. So everything worked out great. Getting those diagonal measurements, everything was just about spot on. I mean, maybe a 16th off, which I am absolutely fine with. So my next thing, I'm going to go around. These are my brackets that I use to hold down the joist to the skids. So this is, again, another Simpson bracket. Strangely enough, for some reason, I don't have very many 1.5-inch nails. I must have gone through them all doing something else. So I'm just going to really kind of work up in this corner where it's really tight underneath, so I don't have a lot of room to work. So I'm going to try and get most of these up here in this corner, maybe a little bit over in that corner as well. And yeah, it'll save me some heartache down the road. All right, that's what that little strap looks like right there. You see it extends down past the bottom of the skid. It's designed to be knocked around. I actually just looked at the box that these came in. These are called twist straps. So it does require, it says all 14 1.5-inch nails, or 1.25-inch, I believe they are. They're joist hanger nails. So in order to get full support from the device, they want all 14 of those holes filled, which is generally standard with any Simpson bracket. They always want you to fill every hole with something, and that's kind of how they engineer their equipment out or their gear out. So I'm sure there's another way to put these on, backwards or upside down or twisted a different way, but that's just the way I kind of do it here. So I'm going to run through my nails to see what I have left, and we'll pick up from there. Alright guys, I just made a mad dash run to town to see if I could find some more joist hanger nails. And they did, but our local hardware store, it's actually an Ace. Their usual markup is twice what you can get something for at a big box store. And it's just hard. I could not pay $10 for a pound of nails. I just couldn't do it. It's just out of control. I did that the other day with the concrete. My concrete got delayed, so I was like, well, let me just go down to Ace and grab some bags of concrete. Well, I paid $4.26 a bag, and they wanted $8.99 a bag. So I've just about given up on them. So anyway, I'm gonna do some running around. I gotta go pick up the bus tomorrow, so I'll be near a big box, and I'll grab some stuff there. Now, this is where I'm gonna leave. I just made a little video, you'll see it, about this Advantech subflooring. If you have an answer, go ahead and watch that video. If you have an answer about how or what they expect you to do to fix the, I don't know what it is. It's obviously not a, I don't know what it is. It's a problem, I guess, on my part, because I don't know the actual way to fix it. Or, you know, do I have to literally change my layout based on the size of these panels? Anyway, go take a look. So I still have that set up right now as I'm closing this out today. So I got a couple more of those twist straps tacked in place, but certainly not enough. So I'm going to do some running around tomorrow, like I said, and come back probably in the afternoon and start working on those straps again. And then we'll start moving forward. I would have liked to have started getting some of this screwed down, but I'd rather start in the back and work my way up with this subflooring. And like I said, it just has to go. It has to do with the size of these panels, and it just drives me crazy. Well, as I sit here under the shade here at cabin 3, yeah, we're going to wrap it up. It's about 5 o'clock now, so it's about time anyway. And yeah, I would have liked to have gotten a little more done today, but sometimes that's just how it goes. So I'll work in the morning. I'll figure out something I can get done in the morning without using those twist straps or without the nails I need for them. And then, you know, I'll get some and we'll move on tomorrow afternoon. I'm pretty certain tomorrow afternoon I should have some subfloor screwed down. So until then, guys, hey, I appreciate you hanging out with me. And yeah, stick around. We got a lot of good things going on. I'm going to get the subfloor on this cabin, then we're going to go back to cabin 1, start finishing that thing out. So should be a good run. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you on the next one.